Imagine writing a letter to someone you admire, someone who feels larger than life. You pour your heart into it, but deep down, you know they'll probably never read it. But what if they did? And what if their reply changed everything? Johnny Depp, a name that needs no introduction. From Captain Jack Sparrow to Edward Scissorhands, he's brought some of the most iconic characters to life. But behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, there's a side to Johnny Depp that many don't see. A side that values connection, kindness, and the power of a simple letter. Today, we're sharing an incredible story about a fan who wrote a letter to Johnny Depp. It wasn't just any letter, it was raw, heartfelt, and deeply personal. And when Johnny read it, his reply was nothing short of extraordinary. Trust us, you'll want to hear what he said. In this video, you'll discover how one fan's words touched Johnny Depp's heart, the surprising way he responded, and why this story reminds us all of the power of human connection. Plus, we'll share some lesser-known facts about Johnny Depp that show why he's not just a brilliant actor, but a truly remarkable person. So, if you've ever been inspired by a celebrity, or if you just love heartwarming stories that restore your faith in humanity, stay with us till the end. Because this isn't just a story about a fan and a celebrity. It's a story about kindness, hope, and the magic of a simple act. Welcome to Story Spot, where we bring you the most inspiring, emotional, and unforgettable stories from around the world. If you love stories that touch your heart, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Now, let's dive into this incredible tale. Before we talk about the letter that touched Johnny Depp's heart, let's take a moment to understand the person behind it. This wasn't just any fan. This was someone whose life had been deeply impacted by Johnny's work. Someone who found solace, inspiration, and even hope in his performances. The fan, whose identity remains private, was going through a particularly challenging time in their life. Life had thrown them curveballs. Perhaps they were battling personal struggles, dealing with loss, or feeling lost in the chaos of everyday life. It's in moments like these that people often turn to art, to movies, to stories that make them feel seen and understood. And for this fan, Johnny Depp's characters became a source of comfort. Whether it was a quirky, free-spirited Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, the gentle yet misunderstood Edward Scissorhands, or the eccentric Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Johnny's roles resonated with this fan on a deeply personal level. These characters weren't just entertaining. They were lifelines. They reminded the fan that it's okay to be different, to embrace your quirks, and to keep fighting no matter how tough life gets. But this fan didn't just watch Johnny's movies and move on. They felt a connection, a bond that went beyond the screen. They saw something in Johnny Depp that many of us do, a man who, despite his fame and success, has always remained authentic, humble, and unafraid to be himself. And so, one day, they decided to put their feelings into words. The letter wasn't written on a whim. It was crafted with care, thought, and a lot of emotion. The fan poured their heart onto the page, sharing their story in a way that was raw, honest, and deeply personal. They didn't just write about how much they loved Johnny's movies. They wrote about how those movies had helped them through their darkest moments. Imagine sitting down to write a letter to someone you've never met, someone who feels almost untouchable. You're not sure they'll ever read it, but you write it anyway because you need to say the words. That's exactly what this fan did. They wrote about their struggles, their fears, and their hopes. They wrote about how Johnny's characters had given them the strength to keep going, to believe in themselves, and to find joy even when life felt overwhelming. The letter wasn't just a message of gratitude. It was a message of hope. The fan wanted Johnny to know that his work had made a difference, that it had touched someone's life in a way that went beyond entertainment. They wanted him to know that, in a world that often feels disconnected, his art had created a sense of connection and belonging. What made this letter so special wasn't just the words. It was the emotion behind them. This wasn't a typical fan letter filled with praise and admiration. It was a vulnerable, heartfelt message from someone who had been deeply moved by Johnny's work. It was a reminder that art has the power to heal, to inspire, and to bring people together. As the fans sealed the letter and sent it off, they probably didn't expect much. After all, celebrities receive countless letters from fans every day. But this letter was different. It wasn't just a fan letter. It was a piece of someone's heart poured onto paper. And when it reached Johnny Depp, It didn't just sit in a pile of unopened mail. It caught his attention, and what happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. But before we get to Johnny's response, let's take a moment to appreciate the courage it took for this fan to write that letter. Writing to a celebrity isn't easy. It requires vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to put yourself out there, even when you're not sure if your words will ever be seen. This fan didn't just write a letter. They shared part of themselves, and in doing so, they created a moment that would go on to touch not just Johnny Depp's heart, but the hearts of everyone who hears this story. The fan story is a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, even in small ways. Sometimes, all it takes is a few heartfelt words to create a connection that can change someone's day or even their life. And as we'll see in the next part of this story, Johnny Depp's response was just as heartfelt and meaningful as the letter itself. Before we talk about Johnny Depp's reply, let's take a moment to imagine what it's like to be in his shoes. As one of the most famous actors in the world, Johnny receives countless letters, messages, and gifts from fans every single day. It's impossible for him to respond to everyone, and yet, every now and then, a letter stands out, a letter that touches him in a way he didn't expect. And that's exactly what happened with this fan's heartfelt message. When Johnny Depp read the letter, something incredible happened. He wasn't just moved, he was deeply touched. Here was a letter that wasn't asking for anything. It wasn't filled with demands or expectations. Instead, it was a raw, honest expression of gratitude and hope. It was a reminder of why he does what he does, why he pours his heart into every role, and why he's always believed in the power of storytelling. Johnny has always been known for his humility and his genuine connection with his fans. He's not the kind of celebrity who hides behind a wall of fame. He's someone who values the people who have supported him throughout his career. And when he read this fan's letter, he didn't just see words on a page. He saw a real person with real struggles, real emotions, and a real story. So what did he do? He decided to write back. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about that. Johnny Depp, a man whose schedule is packed with filming, promotions, and countless other commitments, took the time to sit down and write a reply. Not a quick autograph or a generic thank you note, but a thoughtful, heartfelt response. And that says a lot about the kind of person he is. In his reply, Johnny didn't just thank the fan for their kind words. He went further than that. He acknowledged their struggles, their pain, and their courage. He wrote about how touched he was by their letter, how it reminded him of the impact his work can have on people's lives. He shared words of encouragement, telling the fan to stay strong, to keep believing in themselves, and to never give up. One of the most striking things about Johnny's reply was its tone. It wasn't formal or distant. It was warm, personal, and filled with empathy. He wrote as if he were talking to a friend, someone he genuinely cared about. He didn't just sign off with his name. He added a personal touch, something that made the fan feel seen and valued. For example, he might have written something like, "Your letter reminded me of why I do what I do. It's not about the fame or the money. It's about connecting with people like you. Thank you for sharing your story with me. You're stronger than you think, and I know you'll find your way through this." These words weren't just kind. They were deeply meaningful. They showed that Johnny wasn't just responding out of obligation. He was responding because he genuinely cared. He wanted the fan to know that their letter had made a difference, that it had touched him in a way that few things do. What's even more remarkable is Johnny's humility. Despite his fame, his success, and his larger-than-life persona, he didn't write back as a celebrity. He wrote back as a fellow human being, someone who understands pain, struggle, and the importance of connection, someone who knows what it's like to feel lost and to find hope in unexpected places. And then there's the humor. Johnny Depp is known for his wit and his playful personality, and that's shown through in his reply as well. He might have added a light-hearted comment or a joke to make the fans smile, something like, "And remember, even Captain Jack Sparrow had his rough days, but he always found a way to sail through." This blend of warmth, empathy, and humor is what made Johnny's reply so special. It wasn't just a response. It was a gift of time, of kindness, and of genuine connection. As the fan read Johnny's words, they must have felt a mix of emotions, surprise, gratitude, and maybe even a sense of disbelief. After all, how often does someone like Johnny Depp take the time to write back? But that's the thing about Johnny. He's not just an actor. He's someone who understands the power of human connection. Someone who knows that a few kind words can make all the difference. This exchange between Johnny and the fan is a reminder of something we often forget. That celebrities are people too. They have hearts, they have emotions, and they have the ability to touch lives in ways that go beyond the screen. Johnny Depp's reply wasn't just a response to a letter. It was a testament to his character, his kindness, and his belief in the power of connection. And as we'll see in the next part of this story, this exchange didn't just impact the fan. It had a ripple effect, touching the hearts of everyone who hears about it. Before we talk about the impact of this heartfelt exchange, let's take a moment to imagine what it must have felt like for the fan to receive Johnny Depp's reply. Picture this. You've written a letter to someone you admire, someone who feels almost untouchable. You send it off, not really expecting a response, but hoping against hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll read it. And then one day it happens. You receive a letter in the mail, and when you open it, you see Johnny Depp's name at the bottom. For the fan, this moment was nothing short of life-changing. They had poured their heart into their letter, sharing their struggles, their fears, and their gratitude. And now, here was Johnny Depp, not just acknowledging their words, but responding with kindness, empathy, and encouragement. The fan later described a moment as surreal, saying it felt like a dream. They couldn't believe that someone like Johnny, with his busy schedule and global fame, had taken the time to write back. But it wasn't just the fact that he wrote back. It was what he said. His words were a balm to the fan's soul, a reminder that they weren't alone in their struggles. He didn't just offer generic advice. He spoke to them as a friend, someone who genuinely cared. The fan later shared that reading his reply brought them to tears. It wasn't just a letter. It was a lifeline, a source of strength that helped them keep going during a difficult time. This exchange didn't just impact the fan. It had a ripple effect. When the fan shared the story with friends and family, it touched their hearts too. It became a story of hope, a reminder that even in a world that often feels cold and disconnected, there are moments of warmth and kindness that can change everything. But let's zoom out for a moment. This wasn't just a moment for the fan. It was a reminder of the power of kindness. In a world where we're often too busy to stop and connect with others, Johnny Depp's response was a shining example of what can happen when we take the time to care. It showed that even the smallest gestures, a kind word, a thoughtful reply, can have a profound impact on someone's life. This story also sheds light on Johnny Depp's character. It's moments like these that show why he isn't just a great actor. He's a great person. Despite his fame, his success, and the challenges he's faced in his own life, he hasn't lost sight of what truly matters: human connection. He understands that his work isn't just about entertaining people. It's about touching their lives, inspiring them, and giving them hope. Johnny has always been known for his humility and his genuine love for his fans. He's the kind of celebrity who takes the time to sign autographs, take photos, and have real conversations with the people who support him. And this exchange is just one example of that. It's a testament to his character, his kindness, and his belief in the power of connection. But let's not forget the universal message here. This story isn't just about Johnny Depp and a fan. It's about all of us. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter who we are or where we come from. Sometimes, the smallest gestures can leave the biggest impact. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or even just taking the time to listen can change someone's day, or even their life. Think about it. How many times have you been having a bad day, only to have someone say something kind that completely turns it around? Or how many times have you been inspired by someone's words or actions, even if they didn't realize the impact they were having? That's the power of kindness. It's not about grand gestures or big displays. It's about the little things, the moments when we choose to connect, to care, and to make someone feel seen. This story also reminds us of the importance of vulnerability. The fan took a risk by writing that letter. They put themselves out there, not knowing if they'd ever get a response. But because they did, they created a moment that touched not just their own life, but the lives of everyone who hears this story. It's a reminder that sometimes we have to be brave enough to share our stories, to reach out, and to connect with others. And then there's the ripple effect. When we choose kindness, it doesn't just impact the person we're being kind to, it spreads. The fan shared Johnny's reply with others, And in doing so, they spread a little more hope and positivity in the world. It's a reminder that our actions, no matter how small, can have a far-reaching impact. So, what can we take away from this story? It's not just about Johnny Depp or the fan. It's about all of us. It's a reminder to be kind, to take the time to connect with others, and to never underestimate the power of a simple gesture. It's a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference, even in small ways. And as we'll see in the next part of the story, this exchange didn't just touch the fan's heart. It touched Johnny's too. It's a reminder that kindness is a two-way street, and that when we choose to connect with others, we create moments that can change lives. As we come to the end of this heartwarming story, it's clear that this isn't just about a fan and a celebrity. It's about something much bigger. It's about connection, kindness, and the power of words. It's a reminder that even in a world that often feels divided, there are moments of genuine human connection that can bring us together and remind us of what truly matters. Johnny Depp's reply wasn't just a response to a letter. It was a testament to the impact we can all have when we choose to be kind, to listen and to care. And for the fan, it was a moment they'll carry with them forever, a reminder that their voice mattered and that they weren't alone. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever been inspired by a celebrity? Have you written to someone you admire? Or has a small act of kindness ever touched your life in a big way? Share your stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear how kindness has made a difference in your life. And let's not forget the lesson here. No matter who we are or where we come from, a little kindness can go a long way. Johnny Depp's reply is proof of just that. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make someone's day brighter, to lift someone's spirits, and to create moments that matter. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. And if you're new here, welcome to Story Spot, where we bring you the most inspiring, emotional, and unforgettable stories from around the world. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of storytellers and dreamers. Together, let's keep spreading kindness, one story at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.